When you're taking on multiple targets, we've covered before what we call boarding house rules. Which David the Marine
Let me see your war face.
is...
No one gets served seconds until everyone has been served first.
What's the reciprocal of boarding house rules?
I like to call it animal house rules. You feed them until they don't want any more.
So, people are approaching you, they mean you harm, and you're going to defend yourself.
Right.
What's the advantage of animal house rules?
Well, animal house rules, well, the first thing, who's the biggest threat? The most deadly threat is one you would engage first. And the problem with boarding house rules, which it makes sense kind of, talking about it back and forth, but if I go bang, 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 it's a long time before the most deadly threat, the guy I shot first, gets his second shot. And if he's the most deadly threat, shouldn't I make sure I put him down first?
All very good shots, but as you saw, while we were working on the others, this guy could have got back up. And every threat has been neutralized.
That's why animal house rules is better. Well, for boarding house rule, the total time was 2:09. I completed all that in 2.09 seconds. But there's two keys to me. One is the second shot getting back on number one, who I deemed the greater threat, and therefore he should be taken out first. It took me 1.38 seconds to get back to him after I shot the other two. Now, number three, the first shot he got came at 1.3. So after I started the first shot to the third shot on number three, it was 1.3. So keep that in mind. Now, animal house rules, total time, again, the boarding house 2:09, animal house rules 1.7, like 0.4 of a second, almost a half second faster going that way. Now, the difference, the keys here, that number one, the most deadly threat, he got his second hit 0.21 seconds after he got the first hit. And he had two hits in 0.9 seconds, so two hits on him in under a second. Number three got his first hit at 1:53, and that's the difference between boarding house rules. He got it at 1.3 versus 1.53, so a little under a quarter second difference between animal house and boarding house rules. But the difference is the number one threat gets his second shot 0.2 of a second faster. Again, the big difference. Boarding house rules 1.38 seconds to the second hit versus 0.21 seconds to the second hit. So I think the way to go, if you have multiple people, you double tap them all. And then go back and see who might need a triple tap.
And you can't double tap or triple tap until you have guns for everybody. He had a spinal cord injury and maybe a liver bleeding out, so I don't think he's getting back up.